And welcome back, YouTube. This is Mr. Maxbuster here with another Wildcard Wednesday. And today, hailing from the incredibly popular Fate Grand Order series, we have Lancer, Joan of Arc, Alter, Santa Lily variant, in glorious 1/7 scale. Now this particular anime figure is made by the very popular and very kind of know what they're doing company, Good Smile Company. Very known for their Nindoroids. And let me tell you, it's a pretty awesome anime figure to own. Before we actually review the anime figure itself, let's take a look at the box. Now, this box is huge, and most of that is due to the lance itself. So, bear with me, it's going to get a little bit sideways, but I'm going to have to turn this box on its side in order to properly get it in view. Now, of course, on the front here we have the official Type Moon seal of approval. The Good Smile Company logo is going to be right up here, probably just out of view. You can see the beginning of it. Very lovely on the edges, snowflakes and Christmas trees to represent the very nice winter festive feel of the particular character. Of course, you got the Fate Grand Order logo down there and some more information on the side. On this side, we have a very lovely image of Joan of Arc, Alter, Santa Lily herself, Lancer variant. And of course, some more Christmas trees to go around it, and a very lovely bow presentation going on here, like a wrapping paper, very nice. Of course, her name printed in very lovely gold lettering to represent how just fantastic this character is. On the back here, you could tell that we have a couple of different poses that the character can be in. This little plush guy right here, very cute. And of course, an actual large image of the character herself. All the legal information, another seal of approval. And on this side we have a little bit more window packaging along with Joan of Arc Alter, Santa Lily herself, Lancer variant. Of course, on the top, if it fits, just barely, we have a little bit more window packaging and of course, more wrapping, snowflakes, Christmas trees. Just very lovely packaging overall. The only bad thing about this is the box is well oversized compared to what the character is in there. And like I said, you'll understand that's purely because of the lance that comes with it. If the lance came in two pieces, which honestly might have been a decent idea just to reduce packaging size, this packaging could have been condensed quite a bit. But of course, you didn't come here to hear me talk on and on about a box. You wanted to see the actual anime figure herself, Joan of Arc, Alter, Santa Lily, Lancer variant. Now, I will get to the lance in a little bit, but I just want to share with you how she looks without the lance. Just a very basic version of Joan of Arc, Alter, Santa Lily. For the rest of this review, I'm going to be shortening her name to just Santa Lily Alter, just so it's a little bit faster, that's why I don't have to say the whole name itself. Alright, as you can tell, there's actually no round base that it comes with. It's just purely this really cute chimney with some snow on the top. And I think it's time to actually take a closer look at this particular anime figure. Alright, so we're going to start with the base that it comes with. It does not come with the traditional round base. It's actually a very unique chimney. And it actually does have texture, you know, like the brick and mortar. Actually, the brick is raised up from where the mortar's at, so that's really cool. So I really do like that, as you can hear when I kind of scrape at it a little bit. Just a very nice brick look, and the mortar is very clean, very untouched. Almost like somebody did a very nice clean to it before the winter set in. Or maybe it was just freshly laid. As you can tell up top here, for the base, it has some very nice snow all around the base. And this indent is where the lance would rest. This handprint right here is where her hand should be resting, although my particular figure for some reason just likes to kind of float to the left, so her hand doesn't quite fit in there, which is a little bit annoying. I guess I look more of it as her hand, maybe she just got done putting her hand down there and she's raising it up a little bit. I guess that's one way to look at it. Here is where a little addition, which I will show later, will rest. The figure itself is actually connected by one sole metal peg right on her left boot, which I think is a little bit risky considering how much weight is actually on this figure by the time it's all said and done. I wish the metal peg was longer, kind of extended into the figure a little bit longer, because it's a very short metal peg, and I do fear that the metal peg will eventually collapse, or this piece itself, due to weight, will just fall off. So I do think that is a particular concern in the future, because I'd really hate to have to glue this all together, because it is a very lovely figure. And I really don't want it to bust on me one day. That would just be heartbreaking. I've had a couple of anime figures bust on me due to weight issues leaning to the side one way or the other, and it's a sad day when a figure breaks off from its base. Thankfully, I didn't take any of the other anime figures out with it. Other than that, that's all there is really to talk about the base. It's very simple, has a little hole in it, so it's a true chimney at the bottom and at the top. So the hole actually goes all the way through, it's not just filled in, so that's kind of a nice little touch. Other than that, that's about all to talk about the base. Let's talk about Santa Alter herself. Now let's start with the shoes. Very lovely boots that she is wearing here. Or I guess more like high heels with what do you call it, like ankle guards? Shin guards? Very lovely. Unfortunately, no additional detail to the actual bottom of the sole, so that is a little bit of disappointment. Very lovely, white and black, simple high heel here. And a very, very cool, like metal shin, or not shin, yeah, like a shin guard with a very cool black inlay. I really do like that quite a bit. Of course, her other shoe is the exact same. Very cool, I like that quite a bit. Her legs, she's wearing these very awesome, like knee-high socks. And they're black, or maybe, yeah, I believe that that'd be black socks. Maybe they're stockings. Very cute. I like that quite a bit. And if we move up to her midsection here, you can tell that she is wearing a very lovely, like Mrs. Claus style dress. As you can tell, it's white with some red stripes, kind of right where the seam would be, so I like that quite a bit. And then of course she has very two cute like fluffy buttons right at the front of the dress here. Very cute. Accents the character quite nicely. As you can tell, the chest part up here is actually revealed a little bit, so she is wearing a very lovely black under attire to match her black under attire. That is very cute. She's wearing some hand warmers here that go all the way up to her elbow, and I think that's very lovely. That's some black, what would you call that? Like elbow length gloves. I really like that. And then at the top here, she's wearing some very cute, very fluffy wristbands on both hands. As you can tell down here, and you can tell right here. Very cute. I like that quite a bit. Now let's move up to the shoulders. As you can tell, she is wearing this very cute, I would almost call it like a shawl, maybe like a light jacket, but it looks too small to be a jacket, so I'm going to call it more like a shawl, maybe, because it's not a scarf. So yeah, I'm going to call it a shawl. That kind of wraps all the way around the back here. Very nice, white, fluffy, with a very fluffy edge to it. Almost looks like a, what would you call that? Just a very, like, warm wintertime dress. Very cute. And then, of course, it's all connected by this really lovely red and green bow tie right at the front here. Very cute. Very Christmas themed. Now, of course, let's move to the actual make it or break it part of any anime figure. Of course, I'm talking about the face. The face is very important. It is the main draw of the figure. If it has a bad face, it will probably be skipped by a lot of people. Now, as we can tell, she has a very, I'd almost say embarrassed expression on her face, which is very fitting for this particular character. Her eyes are wide open, and they seem to be looking in the right direction, or correct direction, so they're not cross-eyed. That's very important. The nose is very cute, and it's almost like a shy slash embarrassed smile, which portrays what the anime figure is trying to do very well. It almost looks like she's taking a very embarrassing photo session that she's not quite sure about, but or maybe she's doing this for a loved one, and she's really eager and excited and nervous at the same time. I'm not quite sure what they're trying to do here, but very cute nonetheless. Or maybe she's just really cold after realizing that this outfit is not the best winter attire. I'm not quite sure exactly what's going on there. But it displays embarrassment or maybe what would you call that? Like, I'd say it's almost like a very good embarrassment or shyness expression on this character. Very lovely. So the face gets a very good pass. The head guard, the helmet, very lovely. I like that quite a bit. It has quite a bit of detail. You can see the star, the sword, the horns. Just very copious amounts of detail. Very good. I love, love, love these little bells on the side here to represent the wintertime. That is so cute. Just very adorable. 100% agree that that is awesome. The hair itself, I've seen better, but I've seen worse. There's not a lot of movement going on, so it doesn't look super, what would you call it, like super noodly. You can tell that it does have some strands. It kind of floats out here. It does kind of look moppy a little bit when it gets to the spiky parts. But for the top of the hair and the front, it looks good. The back here, the spiky parts just look almost, I'd say, squid-like. I don't know, just very distracting, the bottom part here. But thankfully, you probably won't be looking at that too much. You'll be looking more toward the top. The little hair piece here that kind of curls out, very cute. The ponytail here that drags down right across the hand. That front part of it, very well done. Down here, it kind of gets a little, what would you call that? Serpent-like? It almost looks like a snake's coming to life here. Not bad, but not terrible. It kind of separates here a little bit. Not too bad. I've definitely seen worse hair, but I've definitely seen better. I've definitely seen worse hair, but I've seen some better hair too. So the hair is definitely not bad. Like I said, I've seen a lot worse, but it could still always be better. Now we got these little ribbons in her hair, which are very, very cute. You got green and red ribbons that just kind of float down from each side of her hair, connected, almost like a hairpiece. It's just very lovely, very cute. 100% agree with them. They are excellent. Now, one thing I do want to show you. So that is pretty much the character itself here. Before we get to the accessories that you could display her with, I want to show you a couple things. When you first receive the character, she will have quite a bit of paper to protect her neck from the shawl here, and I'll show you how to remove that, so please keep in mind that this is going to be a decapitated... she is going to be headless for a little bit, just like the Headless Horseman. Nothing wrong with that, though. Just reminds me of a horror game. Ooh. Oh, she's too cute to be a horror game, though. Now, one thing to note, and I, for the life of me, cannot get this to connect. She does have an option. If you want to remove the shawl, you can display her without the shawl and place this on her as just like a little neck bow tie. I could not, for the life of me, get this to fit. I'm afraid that if I try to sand it, that it's just going to snap off and just completely break off. So, let me know in the comments if you out there have had issues with this. I, for the life of me, cannot get this to fit around the little neck piece here. So you can display her without the shawl. I much prefer the shawl though, just because I like the shawl quite a bit. So that is the way that I will display her, just like this. And of course, with a couple of accessories as well. And I will show you those right now. The first one is, of course, why they call her Lancer, and why the box is so dang big, the Lance. This guy is pretty big. This is a pretty dang big lance, if you ask me. Like, literally, if I compare it to the size of the character, it clearly goes over the top of the character if you stand it straight up. Thankfully, you're not going to be standing it straight up. You're going to be putting it at an angle. Now, the lance is just very simple, but very beautiful. Just a very simple silver, black, and gold all around. Pointy, but not too pointy. That's why you don't accidentally hurt yourself. The shaft is nice. Of course, the tip, very lovely. Overall, the lance is very good, but the sole reason why this figure comes in such a big box and costs so much for shipping. And I'm going to show you how to... It's very easy to actually insert this to have her hold it. You just kind of place it like this. kind of raise it up here a little bit so it hooks around her hand. Make sure the back here is lined up. Make sure it's lined up with their hand. Wow, that is way off. Like I said, for whatever reason, my character kind of floats to one direction a little bit, so it's really annoying. And there you go. Now you have Joan of Arc, Santa Lily, Lancer with the lance. Now one thing to note with the lance, you want to try to push it as far back as possible. Basically you want her hand to be resting like right underneath this hilt here. I believe so anyway, let me double check. Yeah, you want it to be resting pretty dang high on the lance, because with this on here, this figure becomes incredibly lopsided, and it very easily tips over. So it looks like she's kind of sitting on a tilted chimney instead of a straight chimney. Which I guess if that's what you want to do, you can, but I don't know how well the figure would actually rest like that. Maybe that's why they put that leg out there like that. That's why in case it does tip over, it can kind of catch itself. I'm just afraid it's going to put too much pressure on the leg over time. And, of course, what is a lance without its representation? The ribbon. It comes with a very lovely red and green with gold trim ribbon that you can attach to the lance just to give it that extra little flair. And I will share with you how that attaches. Very simple. Right here, yep, there's this little slot on the side. If you put it in here with like this, you just want to turn, turn, turn until you see that slot. Very simple. And then you make sure it's wrapped around pretty well, and then it should just slide right in. There we go. Pretty simple. It wraps around the character very nicely, showing some motion. I like it quite a bit. Oh, I didn't even realize that. It has even the crown symbol right there on each of the edges here. That's just a nice little extra bonus I didn't even realize till now. Great detail. Now the last little addition, which I'm a little bit worried about just because of how loose it could be, is this little plushie right here. It's such a derp face, I love it. Like she's ready to give someone this kind of terrifying plushie as a gift for Christmas. Has that little cute little Santa hat. Whoops. Just the derpiest of derp face that you're ever gonna see. I mean, look at that. Of course, the little weird smile. The gesture, or the lifesaver around its neck here of purple and black. The gesture like frills on his outfit. Maybe it's supposed to be like a Jack-in-the-Box type thing. And then of course a very simple blue rest of the outfit with some shoes. Now this guy, all he does is sit right here. Now, my big issue with that guy just sitting right there, is if you pick it up, he's bound to fall. Actually, it stayed on there much better than expected when I was moving it back and forth. But if you pick it up and move it, it's going to fall. There's no way it's surviving a move, unless you're very, very steady-handed or very lucky. Because look, all it takes is, boop, he's gone. So, just keep in mind, if you do display it with this little, cute little plushy toy, It is... just try to remember do your best to remember that it's going to fall if you move it. I'm probably going to forget that in the future, and it's probably going to fall, hit me in the toe, and I'm going to be like, ow, that hurt a little bit. It's going to be a minor nuisance. Just as long as I don't lose a piece, that's the main thing. So with that said, this is how the complete Joan of Arc Altar Santa Lily Lancer variant looks when it's 100% pieced together. Overall, I say it's a pretty dang good anime figure. I really wish that this connected to the base with just a little bit of a something, like a little bit of a stud or something like that. I really do wish that that the anime figure itself had an additional support piece to connect itself to the base. I do really fear that this is gonna fail over time. The anime figure itself is a little bit lopsided when it comes to weight. I do fear that this might happen one day. Other than that, that's probably the biggest downsides to this anime figure. I love the detail. The image is very simple, but very lovely. I love the little details like the bells in the ears, or bells for the helmet, the bow ties, the little red on the front of the dress. They're just very lovely little details like that. And of course, the base, very unique. I actually like it quite a bit. I wish more companies did bases like this. Overall, I definitely would recommend this if you are an FGO figure fan. I'd probably rank it around, I'd say around a good solid 8, 8.5. Like I said, I'm gonna drop it to the 8 just because of the potential issues that I could of weight distribution and support. Other than that, this is a great anime figure to add to your collection. Definitely recommend it if you are a FGO fan. This is a Booster Box Buster with a Fate Grand Order, Lancer, Joan of Arc, Altar, Santa Lily, anime figure review, signing out.